Alrighty, welcome to today's episode of Tristan Take Video, and more importantly, welcome to L'Étape du Tour 2025. Alrighty, good morning and welcome to today's episode of Tristan Take Video. It's just gone past 6 a.m. or it's about 6:15 in the morning today on the 20th of July, and today I am in the French Alps riding L'Étape du Tour by Tour de France. L'Étape du Tour is a 135 kilometer, 4,500 meter Gran Fondo here in the French Alps. Today I'm riding it with L'Étape du Tour event organizer, who I've very kindly been brought over here with. Now, L'Étape du Tour is a massive event. It's probably one of the biggest fondos in all of Europe. I think it's got about 15,000 participants. I did it last year in Nice in the south of France. Basically, the long and short of L'Étape du Tour is what they do is they take one of the stages of the Tour de France, which is obviously being ridden right now because it's the middle of July, and then they do the exact same course with all the climbing, the same meterage, the same distance and everything, but for amateur cyclists. So it's a fondo, so you can either go and ride it or race it. Last year I rode it pretty hard. It ended up dying at the end of the race. This year I'm hoping for a slightly different outcome, although I'm not as fit as I have been because I broke my elbow a few weeks ago, so I haven't really trained properly. Where we are in Albertville in the French Alps here is about a 6.5-7 hour drive from Jonas. So I drove over yesterday. It actually took me a bit longer than that because there was a typically French summer traffic through the south of France there. When I drove over here yesterday, it was raining a little bit, so I was a bit nervous, but then when we got here, it was fine. So I came and checked into the hotel that I'm staying at. Alrighty, I've made it to Albertville. And then I went off and did my race registration. I got my number. I'm actually number 17,500. So I thought I was starting right at the back of the event, but it turns out they put a little number 0 in the corner of my race number there, which means I'm actually in wave 0, so I'm rushing to get off to the start line. But yeah, went and did my race registration, went for a little walk around the event village there, and then it came back last night. Did a chainring swap on my new bike. So as you will have seen if you did watch that episode about my bike, I had some larger chainrings on there, but I put some smaller chainrings on there because we've got a lot of climbing. Today there's 5 climbs on the card, so a lot of climbing. I can't even pronounce the name of the first climb, but then we got the Roselend, the Col du Pre, and we end up the Plagne, which is a massive climb. It's about 20 kilometers long, I think averaging around 7%. So I'm interested to see how that goes. I am about to duck off to the start. I will talk to you guys more on this one very shortly. I can see a whole bunch of people getting ready down there, so better go, and I will chat to you guys soon, maybe from in the race or maybe from the other side. Alrighty, ciao guys.
Want to overtake someone, make sure you're heard.
How are you doing this morning?
Nervous?
Yeah.
Yeah, especially now you turn up, man.
That's not changing anything. I'm going to be off the back by the time we get to the end
I'll be there right with you.
Let's get each other through this one.
Come on, Hutchins and girls, c'est parti. Peloton slide.
first climb. I notice you're leading the whole peloton. What's your plan for this climb?
Just carry on at this pace, I think.
6 watts a kilo?
Easy, man.
How are we doing? Good? Not good. You and me. 2. Alright, that's top of the Col du Saisies out the way. Got a nice little 19-kilometer descent now. Time to eat, drink, chill for a bit. Attack the next one. How are you feeling?
Good.
Good?
And you?
Not so good. Nah, I'm okay. I'll survive. Col du Pre out the way, small descent, and then we got the Cormet de Roselend. Second last climb, this is the Cormet de Roselend, 5.9 Ks, around 7% or so. Then we got a big descent in the final one to Plagne. Alrighty, so I just want to jump quickly into the future to talk about that footage that you've just been watching, and more importantly, the camera that I used to film it with. For Le Tap, I ran the Insta360 X5 on my bike. This is hands down the single best cycling camera that I've ever used, for the simple fact that I don't have to think about filming while I'm cycling. That's because the X5 is capturing a full 360-degree sphere of vision at all times, looking up the road, looking back at me, and to either side, all simultaneously. With this footage, you can then spot moments you missed, like what was going on behind you, and your audience gets to see what you were seeing and what you look like while seeing it too. If something unexpected happens, there's no scrambling and no one-handed filming, which after years of doing this myself is actually such a blessing. The sensor in the X5 records in 8K, meaning the detail in your footage is insane, and when you're riding on rough roads, flow state stabilization keeps all that footage buttery smooth. One of the other cool things about this camera specifically for filming events is the 200-minute battery life. I finished Le Tap with over 40% of the battery left, having recorded entire descents, large parts of climbs, and the stops I had along the way. Insta360 have also just released ND filters for the X5, meaning that they're the first company to solve this conundrum for filmmakers using 360 cameras. ND filters allow you to slow down your shutter speed in bright light to get cinematic blur, which will take your footage to the next level. So yeah, if you've been wondering how I capture events like this, it's using this, the Insta360 X5. I'll chuck a link to this camera down in the description, and for the moment, it's back to the final climb of Le Tap and how I finished off the event.
Alright, so just over the top of the final climb and down the other side, over the top of the penultimate climb, the Cormet de Roselend, and down the other side, nice long cruisy descent, and then just jumped onto a nice group here. I think everyone's saving themselves for the final climb. It's we're 108 k's in, 109 k's in, so we got just a few kilometers of valley. There's a bit of a headwind, so I'm just sort of chilling at the back of this group, and then we hit the final climb, which is the Col du Pre, which is like a beast. Every single person I've spoken to today is like, save yourself for this last climb. It's about 20 kilometers, average is around 7%, so I'm just trying to save my legs for that, and then I'll go to full send up there and see how we go. All right, final climb coming up. I want that bike. You have not water? Something else? Not water? Oh, you only have water?
Okay. Do you want to eat something?
Nah, that's okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Pas de soucis, bon courage.
Oh man. Alright, 3 k's to go. Same feeling as last year. Just absolutely dying.
Allez, bravo Cormet. Allez, on vient rouler encore quelques mètres.
Oofed. Alrighty, so there you have it. That was my L'Étape de Tour 2025. Now, despite what you saw there right at the end, having completely detonated in the last few Ks of the Plagne climb, kind of almost identical to last year, I was actually super stoked with how I rode throughout the day, especially, as I said at the start, given I had some time off due to breaking my elbow, and I actually ended with a result that I was even more proud of than I expected to be. My final time for L'Étape this year was 5 hours and 25 minutes, which gives me a finishing place of 272nd out of over 13,600 riders. So a top 2% result in one of the most widely ridden and I guess considered hardest Gran Fondos in all of Europe. Looking at the climbing splits throughout the day, I was within that top 2% of the fastest riders all day up each of them, other than on the first climb, of course, because that's where everyone went full beam. So I just kind of held back there a little bit, or didn't go quite as deep as other people went. But then I was able to be pretty consistent throughout the rest of the climbs. And even though I did have that detonation at the end, I actually felt really great all day up until that moment. So I do consider that a win in my books. Once I crossed the line, I had a big sit on the ground. I kind of recovered myself and then met up with a couple of mates, including my mate Tony, who is now leading the overall of the L'Étape series after coming top 50 in this event. So that's pretty cool. Congrats to Tony. And then we went and grabbed some pasta from the pasta party, and then cruised back down the descent, just watching everyone come up. What an amazing day. What an amazing event. So well put together. One of the unfortunate things is, unfortunately, because the actual stage of the Tour de France didn't end up happening on this exact same course, because they had to cut out a couple of climbs due to a cull of some cattle on one of the climbs, the actual Tour de France only did a shorter day for that stage. So I can't compare my times with the pros, but it is probably fair to say that they went up all of the climbs that we did a lot quicker than I did. For the moment, I do want to say a massive thank you to L'Étape de Tour for having me along for this event. Hopefully I get the invite back for next year. And I want to say a massive thank you to you guys, of course, for watching up to this point. If you have watched to here and you haven't whacked a like on the video, please whack a like on it. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, I hope you will, so you can see more videos like this into the future. And we'll see you guys all in another episode of Tristan Take Video very, very soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Ready? And